Hi everyone, my name is Joseph, and today I've been thinking about Destiny's mission structure. So I am a big Destiny fan, or in general, I'm a big Bungie fan. I really do appreciate and enjoy Halo, all of Bungie's Halos, Halo 1 through Reach, including Halo 3 ODST. I did play Platinum Destiny 1. I didn't start playing when it first came out. I started playing in 2018. And then after that, actually, this year or at the end of last year, I platinum Destiny 2 as well. So all of this is just context just to highlight that I am a big fan of Bungie. I'm a big fan of the games that they produce. But with that being said, I think an element, or rather an aspect that Destiny's suffering from is the fact that it's an MMORPG, or not an RPG, but it has MMO elements or aspects. And what I mean by this is, so the season, although we're still currently in season 20, the story has wrapped up. More than likely, there won't be any more narrative portions. All that's left for the rest of the season is just going to be Guardian games and functions such as those or events like that. And the last mission for season 20 was actually very exciting. Superficially, what I mean by that is, so the mission begins with so context. So if one has not been playing season 20, or they haven't finished season 20, they should probably click away from here, or skip ahead a little bit. But Amanda Holiday has been killed. Unfortunately, there was an ambush, not an ambush, but a trap. And within this trap, Mithrax was present. Your Guardian was present. Amanda Holiday was present, and Aramis warns the group, specifically Mithrax, that once you just go away from the place, go away from the mission, walk away. Sometimes it's best just to walk away. And one could argue that Aramis was trying to warn them, and lo and behold, they don't listen to the warning, and Amanda Holiday passes away. She gets caught in an explosion. And because of this mission it's called Retribution, and as the name implies, it's meant to get vengeance for Amanda Holiday. So part of this mission, Crow joins you, Mithrax joins you, as does other minor characters like Devram and some awoken crossseers as well. Sounds really fun and cool, right? Sounds like this is going to be a revenge mission, a vengeance mission, and you're going to start the mission with a cinematic of some kind with your Guardian in a jump ship and the other characters maybe on one big ship, and y'all transmat onto a platform. Or maybe it's just your Guardian in a jump ship and you transmat onto a platform and the other crew transmats, or the other team, the rest of the team transmats around you. Unfortunately, that's not the case. What occurs instead, one begins the mission, and it's not just dialogue. It's implied that they're joining the charge with you, your Guardian, the player, but they're off to the sides. You can't see them. There is one portion of the level where you do see Mithrax with two awoken crossseers behind small little barricades fighting against the enemy. But I don't know, maybe I just got unlucky. The two crosshairs, they were standing up and shooting, then crouching and standing up, shooting, crouching, standing up. But Mithrax was not. He was just standing there being shot at by the enemy. And that's fine, right? Mithrax is obviously an individual who utilizes armor, or I'm going to assume he utilizes armor, but he wasn't even flinching from the shots too. He was just quite literally being shot at and just standing there. Again, maybe that was just a glitch on my end for my mission. Maybe for other people, he was ducking down like the crosshairs. But that did take away from the from the immersion of the mission a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but when I play, I like to believe my Guardian is here to assist the characters of this universe. And yet when I see something like that, it does take myself, the player, away from the game's world. And it was a little bit unfortunate, right? The mission itself was fun, and the story itself does a good job of wrapping everything up. But the reason why I'm making this video is just because if this wasn't Bungie, if we didn't know that they had made, or rather, we didn't know they have experience, making Halo, I think a lot of people will probably just take these missions, they'll probably appreciate them a little bit more. But the reason why myself and a lot of members of the Destiny community get just a little bit tired of these kinds of missions, these kinds of dialogues, just because if one plays Halo, yes, sure, the NPCs, the Marines, they're not the greatest when they're fighting with you. Even the Spartan NPCs. Oh wait, that's not Bungie. That's 343. Excuse me. Just ODST and Marine NPCs. They may not be the best, but they go with you. They fight with you. They'll die, right? But at least they're fighting with you. You could trade weapons with them. You could go on top of a gun mount and they'll drive. Yeah, the driving does suck, but the game feature is there if one wants to utilize it. There's been other missions where the Guardian has fought with other NPCs. The most recent being in Lightfall when Kato and her honor guard, whatever her guard is called, they transmat and they assist you when you're trying to stop her father, Callus, from getting to the Veil. That was really awesome, really cool. You're fighting with her. Her guard is with her, and I believe they do die as well. They have health. Obviously, she's probably an important NPC, so she's set to infinite health or whatever, right? Invincible status. But despite it being really cool, I'm not gonna lie, it didn't feel like the way it did when you were the Master Chief with the Marines. I don't know if it's just because maybe they all just cluster together, or they don't really walk around the map. They don't really follow you. I don't know what it is. I just didn't feel like we were working together as a team. And this is also true in other portions of the story when you do fight with NPCs. The other, off the top of my head, is when last season when you helped Clovis Bray's machines, automations, and they were fighting against the intrusion that the Taken were doing. Was it the Taken? No, the Fallen. Oh, the Witness's forces. That he was fighting. He was holding off an incursion against Witness forces. And again, I believe they're called Red Jacks. Those automations. Oh no, I think they're Clovis Bray's automations. No, not Shax's. So whatever they are called, the automations. You're fighting with them, but again, they don't feel like the Marines from Halo. So I think this is an aspect of Bungie being, or rather of Bungie focusing on making a first-person shooter that has massive multiplayer online or MMO elements attached to it. I can't help but think to myself, if Destiny wasn't a live service game, if Destiny was more built like the way games were built in the past with DLC and packs and everything like that, this mission would have had actual teammates in the level with you, in the field with you. And I know it may seem minor, it may seem detail, it may seem like a minor detail, but those kinds of interactions with the player and NPCs, it helps to build immersion for the world building, helps to build immersion for the game that one is playing in, right? So yeah, it's just been something I've been thinking about. I'm hoping that as we continue forward, I have noticed that Bungie seems to be doing more missions with NPCs, and that's awesome, that's great. I'm hoping that they'll now start focusing on refining what the NPCs can do and having them allowed to do more when they actually do engage in the mission with you. Throw grenades, take cover, return fire. There's never really any vehicles with you, but when you do have to ride a Sparrow, maybe they could be in a Sparrow with you, and so forth, right? Those are my thoughts, and that's what I've been thinking about recently. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you think that Destiny would be a little bit more immersive if the NPCs joined in fights with you, if the NPCs were a little bit more lively and interactive? Let me know what you believe, either in the comments or via the messages. And thank you so much for listening. I do appreciate it as always. Take care, everyone. Excuse me, everyone. I know I said bye already, but one aspect I forgot to discuss that stems from Destiny being an MMO genre-like game are the bounties. So, although when I do play Destiny, sometimes I go in with a specific goal in mind. I'm going to do a dungeon. I'm going to do a nightfall. I'm going to do a seasonal activity. Sometimes when I start playing the game, an aspect that kind of is mentally tiring or fatiguing is just the act of getting bounties. I do recognize that this is my fault. I can simply use the app when I'm in orbit, just take out my phone and just collect all the bounties utilizing the app. But sometimes I don't have my phone near me, or sometimes even if I do have my phone near me, I just don't feel like reaching over to grab it. I know that sounds a little bit lazy. But when it comes to a video game, I feel like one should be able to just pop in the game and start playing it, right? I know Destiny is not the only game that suffers from this, but it's seeming like a lot of games these days, especially live service games, you can't just pop in and play. You have to pop in, get the bounties, and then start playing. And if one is planning on doing multiple activities, the collecting of the bounties, that does start to add up. And before one knows it, after they've gone to all the planets, they've spoken to all the NPCs to collect the bounties, one kind of just feels like, oh, maybe I don't feel like playing anymore, right? I did feel like playing, but now, I don't know, maybe I feel like doing something else instead, right? I don't know about you guys, but that kind of happens to me often. Though with that being said, I do recognize and acknowledge that maybe it's because I am being burnt out a little bit. This is my first time playing Destiny continuously since 2018. I wouldn't say I really had a break from Destiny. If I'm not playing it daily, then I'm at least playing it weekly, 3 to 4 times a week. So this might just be a consequence of that Destiny burnout. And since it's my first time interacting with Destiny in such a way, this is why I'm feeling these emotions towards it, right? So again, I want to make it clear that it's not. I'm not starting to dislike Destiny or anything like that, but I do feel the MMO. I do feel the MMO aspect sometimes, and I do feel like at times it negatively hinders the game. It doesn't really enhance it. But there are elements where obviously the MMO aspect does enhance it, like for example, raids and dungeons. Right, if this was just a traditional game, one wouldn't be able to be doing those activities. So excuse me, I forgot to add this. It was just an ask. I did have notes about this, but to be frank with everyone, I'm kind of suffering with allergies a bit, so I wasn't 100%. Well, I'm hoping it's allergies. I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah. So if you did listen to the original part and you listened to this part as well completely, I really do thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. My cat appreciates it as well. Take care, everyone. Thank you.